Alright, so this is the first real content video on this series of how to guarantee success with learning a foreign language. And our first topic is language in general, or you can also say linguistics, the scientific study of language. And what I think is super interesting and super unfortunate when it comes to language is that as I suggested in the earlier video, most people don't even know the first thing about languages. They don't even know the first thing. And this is despite being very well educated. People who have college degrees, or even if you've just finished high school. Did you ever really get taught about linguistics? Did you have a course in linguistics? I know that, at least from my own observations, I can say most people didn't, which is interesting because we go through high school and you maybe learn something about ancient Egyptian culture and something about subatomic particles. You maybe learn about ancient Greek drama, but most of us don't know the first thing about languages. So what is the first thing about languages then? Maybe some of you are like, well, just freaking tell me then, what's the first thing about language if you're so freaking smart? Yeah, the first thing about language is that language is something that you are using and being subjected to every moment of your conscious life. It is one of the most integral things, the most important trait that you have as a human, and that all of our advances in human technology, science, culture, and society are all pinned in language. And I've had a lot of arguments or debates with my engineering friends who said, no, physics is more important, or this or that. These innovations in human history are more important than language. But no, every human innovation depends on language, because language is how we pass things on to other people and on to future generations. If it weren't for language, any progress that someone made in knowledge or in technology would die with that person. But it is because of the power of language that we can communicate it widely to across people of all nations, and through time, across people of all ages. And you should know, some people talk about, oh, we shouldn't be so arrogant as humans. There's also animals which have complicated language, complicated communication systems. People say this. It's BS, I'll just tell you. It's complete BS. You should be arrogant or proud, or at least happy to be a human and have access to language, because no other animal communication system, sophisticated and as interesting and fascinating as they may be, comes close to the possibilities of human language. And all human languages on the earth, whether it's English or Indonesian or Lushootseed or Chinese or Quechua or Spanish, all languages of the world, bar none, have the same degree of complexity, have the same ability to express any idea in the most nuanced possible ways that are necessary in any case. So human language is amazing, and there are actually, if you're interested, you can look it up. There's a list of traits which human languages have, and all human languages have, I think it's some 9 or 10 or so traits. And these are traits which, like for example, the ability to talk about things that aren't there. The ability to talk about times that aren't now. So some animal communication systems have some of these traits. Like bees supposedly can tell you about some flowers far away that aren't here. Or maybe some animals can tell you about the past or the future. But there's no animal communication system that has all of the features of a human language. Like I said, by far, human language is something which makes us very, very special and very, very powerful. And that's the first thing you should know about languages.